Well, you've got all these people who are staking, into the whole ETH 2.0 system, and there was no mechanism for them to unstake. I think ETH the devs wanted to just make sure they had, enough staking and enough people supporting the ecosystem, so they kind of kept everybody locked up for at least through that merge that happened several months back.
Mm-hmm.
And so then, this date was approaching, and the date shifted a few times, if I recall, of when, the Shanghai update would release, which would allow stakers to start unstaking. And there's tons of speculation that, all these people are going to dump their tokens and stuff. And that's not what happened. It's pretty non-eventful. Like nothing's really happening regarding price, and there's not mass dumpage or anything like that. And I think if you look at the chart, I think a lot of those stakers may have got in at I don't know, $400 or something, and ETH is now just over 2,000. I think an hour ago it was like $2,013 or something, maybe $2,017. So they're not terribly. There's a little 4x, a little over a 4x, maybe a 5x there.
You don't think the Brit pleb's selling on a 4x or 5x? You don't think?
Yeah, this but the people who are running, the people who are running validators and staking and doing that sort of thing, they're not a different breed of people. They're just a different breed of people. They're people who are just holding anyway for a long time. So what you're seeing right now is now that the general public is like, oh, sweet, I can actually stake my coins and unstake them whenever I want now. You're actually seeing more people just take their ETH and stake. And I think there's pools and smart contracts and all sorts of stuff you can contribute into. You might even be able to do it straight through places like Coinbase, where it kind of happens in the background for you without you having to set up stuff. So now people are like, oh, sweet, I can stake my ETH and not worry about it being locked up for years. So now more people are just taking the ETH they already have and just locking it up because they want some sort of yield. So it's pretty just non-eventful. There's not really any mass dumpage. The price really isn't going to the moon or anything. It's just, oh, okay, cool. The stakes aren't locked anymore.
Right. What does that do? Because there's been a lot of speculation around. Richard was talking about V4 this week, and even as soon as he said that, I was like, yeah, it says this week. I'm thinking Shanghai. It's happening Wednesday, Thursday, and maybe the next week or so if we're lucky. But does this change? Do you think he's planning anything around Shanghai? Do you think it's going to be unlocked? We're going to, fork from that version. He's going to wait a few days. How do you think that's going to play out with PulseChain?
I'm sure he's not going to keep all. Well, for one, everything that's copied over. The people who are holding ETH who get the copy, but the fixer bot's going to buy their ETH from them. I don't know that the fixer bot is able to. This is actually an interesting topic I haven't even thought about, but the fixer bot's going to go around to places like Uniswap and SushiSwap, and it's going to buy PRC20s and then redeploy them as liquidity in PulseX. And then you're also going to have all the ETH holders who are going to have their ETH exchanged out, as so to speak, for instead of having ETH on PulseChain, they're going to have Pulse on PulseChain. How does that look when they have stuff locked up that's no longer locked up, for staking their ETH? I have no idea. I have no idea what any of that's going to look like. But Richard can now grab whatever code they're using for Shanghai, put it into PulseChain. Shouldn't be too hard to implement the update. And then when PulseChain launches, people can stake and unstake at will with their Pulse.
Do you think we are going to take the Shanghai update for V4?
I would hope so. You know, the longer you wait for updates, just the more behind you get, and eventually you're going to have to do those updates anyway, right? I even think
Right.
some updates require you to go through each one of them one at a time, right? Can you skip certain ones? Well, what if certain ones are reliant on the other ones, right? So, you know, I think in a perfect world, and by the way, I'm not a dev. I'm just, you know, I'm with devs every day, but as updates come out, you want to push those updates all kind of in order.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. I hadn't thought about the. I mean, if you skip, so Shanghai, I assume that's the EIP, right? EIP something.
Hmm.
Yeah. So, well, so there's two, I guess, two ways to think about this. One, the train of thought is we can take whatever EIPs we want, PIPs, I guess, for PulseChain,
Yeah,
and
unless there's some that are reliant on other ones, right?
exactly, unless they have dependencies, correct?
Right.
Yeah. Be interesting. Yeah. Is there any reason, like, I get, again, I don't think it's happening this week. Could happen tomorrow, blow me out of the water, whatever. But it would seem like he would wait a few days or so, make sure everything is good with Shanghai, even though what could go wrong, like worst case, there's a bug that you can't unlock stuff or something. It doesn't seem that risky of an update. Nothing like changing the consensus mechanism and all that stuff. Um, yeah. So you think V4, whenever it comes out, probably next week, I'm guessing. We'll have Shanghai update. Okay.
I would hope that it would, but who knows?
Yeah.